So what is the biggest challenge the housing market is facing right now? Well, inventory. Hello, Shane Willis, Pensacola real estate expert, bringing you today's episode. How many of you remember the Tom Petty song? Waiting is the hardest part. Yeah, I just may have aged myself a little bit, but that's all right. It kind of brought up a point for today. One of the things that I wanted to bring up today was that you can kind of see, if you're thinking about selling a home, that waiting could be the hardest part. I'm saying, what do you mean by that? You look at the overall economy. If you look at the overall economy right now, wages are rising. We're near record low unemployment. Mortgage rates, the interest rates are ridiculously low. I cannot believe the Fed cut again last week. The past 10 plus years, the market stabilized. So what is the biggest challenge the housing market is facing right now? Well, inventory. All right, the National Association of Realtors just put out an existing home sales report, and I'm just going to read this from you. Total housing inventory at the end of September set at 1.83 million, approximately equal to the amount of existing home available for sale in August, but a 2.7% decrease from the 1.88 million 1 year ago. Unsold inventory is at a 4.1 month supply at the current pace, up from 4.0 months in August and down from 4.4 months in September. Now, Shane, what does all that mean? Well, if you watch the show that I do every week called How's the Market, Pensacola, I always talk about what is considered a neutral market, what's considered a seller's market, what's considered a buyer's market, what's considered a hyper seller's market, what's considered a hyper buyer's market. So if you haven't caught that, get over to the Facebook page, or you can find it on YouTube or IGTV or whatever. But I do it on the Facebook page as well, facebook.com/Shane Willis, the Realtor. And if you notice in our area, Escambia and Santa Rosa County, there are some hyper sellers markets in a lot of price points. We do have buyers markets in some price points in our area, but there's a housing, I've used the word crisis over in Santa Rosa County right now, just because of the lack of inventory. All right. We call it a seller's market or a hyper seller's market. So since we don't have enough supply to meet the demand, that's probably our biggest challenge right now. So what does that mean for you about selling? If we look at that inventory challenge, we can tell you now may be a really good time to talk about selling the property, bringing the property on inventory, bringing it to market, because you can maximize your dollar amount. And honestly, and I put this in my blog post, honestly, if you think about waiting, that actually could theoretically hurt you. It could theoretically hurt you because, I don't know, are we going to get more inventory and actually get more back to a neutral market? Now, let me clarify something, because I know I'm going to have some listeners saying, okay, well, you were talking to sellers on that particular episode, and I'm a buyer, and you said it may hurt them to wait, so why do I want to buy right now? Well, that's because we're not looking at getting the appreciation we got before. But listen to my words, we are also not looking at getting depreciation like we did in 08, 9, 10. Okay? You ask 100 of the top 100 economists that work in the real estate field and ask them, do they think real estate is going to be up over the next 5 years? 100 of them say yes. If you go year by year, 3 of them say there may be 1 year where we see a 1% pullback, but that's a national number. You break it back down to our numbers here locally, none of them. None of them. We're kind of in a pocket. Are we going to see the double-digit returns? Probably not. Are we going to see the 1, 2, 3, 4% return? Probably. It's what everything looks like. It's back to a normal market. Thank goodness. Because that was a roller coaster the last 2 decades. We're ending, the teens here in the 2000s, but from 2000 to we're creeping up on 2020, that has been a 2-decade roller coaster when it comes to real estate in our area. It went way up. It went way down. And now it's steady climbed back up. All right, so that down is going to wind up being a blip in the history books. So if as a buyer, I would not hold off. But as a seller, you have got an opportunity right now because of the lack of inventory to take advantage of this. So go look at the notes. I put the show notes up for a national news. And then I will put a link into this week's episode of How's the Market Pensacola, or I'll actually just put a link to the YouTube playlist so you can look at them. I've been shooting that show every week since I think early April, either late March or early April, because we're coming up on 31 or 32 episodes. So 6 months, definitely. A little over 6 months. But bottom line, if you wind up waiting as a seller, you might miss that opportunity. So that's all I got for you today. As always, if you've not subscribed to get the tips, tricks, graphs, infographics, get over to 5minutesinrealestate.com. That's 5minutesinrealestate.com. Also, get over to the Facebook page, facebook.com/Shane Willis, the Realtor. Do me a favor, like the post, comment on it. Is there anything else that you would like to hear me talk about? I've been getting some comments, quite a few comments actually, over on SoundCloud, for those of you listening just for the audio. And I got a few comments this past week on Stitcher. We are on a lot of those platforms, so we're on iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher and SoundCloud and, pretty much almost all of them. I don't know of any that we're not on. If you have one that you like to listen to and you actually caught me on one, you can't find me on the other, give me a comment. I'll make sure we get over there as well. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a